I believe we talked about the different levels of application. There's basically 4 major levels. And we're going to work on the first probably 1 or 2, depending on what kind of comes out when Jason punches at me today. So just to review quickly, level 1 of application is the most obvious application, whatever you actually normally see when you do a technique. So in any form, you punch, you're probably punching the guy. This was probably a block. Very simple. So we're going to go through that very easy stuff. Maybe a few level 2 techniques. Level 2 is where you do things like change the attack, change the direction of the attack, change, how many opponents you have, all of that sort of stuff. And it's just a different way to think about things. Level 3 of application generally is what did I forget? What can I do that I haven't been thinking about so far? So usually in something like a punch, something happened with your feet. So you have to look at what was going on with your feet and how that changes things. Simple as that, okay? So, Drunken 1, we're going to do this in little tiny pieces and make sure that we can get a good handle on it. So come on out here, Jace. Alright, so the very first technique, we're going to do everything so the camera can see it, so don't worry too much about orientation. As far as the form goes, normally the other videos I'm facing here when we do the set, you all have those videos, so don't worry about it. The very first technique we're going to talk about is the bow. Okay, and we talked about how you should be falling into the bow. And first correction I'm actually going to give you, why not? Be looser. I haven't seen very many of you move yet, but you're too tight, I'm sure of it. So be more loose. When we do this bow, it's not controlled and I am bowing before my Kung Fu form. You should be falling into this, okay? And it's basically a body wave. So I start falling with my dantian. So I push my belly forward and then follow it with the rest of my body. You kind of see it if I go sideways. My body's doing this. What that's going to do is it's going to throw a lot of your weight forward all at the same time. So here we are with our opponent. I'm standing here minding my own business. And we'll actually start on this side. Do the very first easy stuff. So I'm hanging out. He throws his punch. This is the beginning of my bow. Okay? This is your arm bar, arm break kind of a vibe. And the body wave is what's going to throw the weight into there. It's not, bang, I'm trying to move because I have no stance. Without stance, the chances of me doing a movement here are very low unless I'm extremely good. Okay? But because, this is my stomach, because I've got the ability to throw my body weight, once I get to here, I can get a decent amount of force through there, okay? This is that hand coming up front. So you stick this right to your body. One last time. Stick this to your body. If it's out here, he's got all kinds of room to maneuver. He's going to move. He will. He will. He's a jerk that way. Okay? Always get it against your body and then throw your body weight into it. Okay? Very, very important. So that's the very first technique. Level 2, just to examine, that would be level 1, the most obvious thing, at least in my opinion. Actually, the most obvious thing would be to swat him in the head with this. This is your block catch, and if he's too fast, don't catch him, just hit him, okay? And then a level 2 technique might be the armbar. A level 3 technique would be what did I miss? Or perhaps where is he? Maybe he's somewhere else. So a nice one for this is the guy behind you. So he's gonna, he comes up like he's gonna grab onto me. Yeah, sure. Oh crap. Well, if he's got a good grip, there's no way I'm going to get to move very easily. He's going to mess with me, right? So by throwing, by throwing my arm, by throwing my arm and pushing my body weight forward, I can pull his head. Watch his head as I do this. His head's going to come forward, and that's going to open up his groin. So you can see that's what this is for, is the groin attack from behind. Okay? If he goes for a choke, like with his arm, this hand is for the interception of that. Okay, as soon as you feel this going around, you get this hand in there. Is this going to stop a full-out choke? Not necessarily, but you put your chin down, and you get your hand in here, and you're going to have a few extra seconds before he chokes you up. And if he's not strong enough, he won't be able to. Okay? And he's not strong enough, so then we're going to business. And then from here, turn this way. From here, I can go for the groin game. Remember that it's our #1 attack, right? 3 targets, #1, eyes, throat, groin. Always. Always. Why not? It's dirty and it works. If you can't get at those targets, that's what all the other stuff's for. So that's our bow, in a nutshell. Next technique, in the form, we take a little tiny step. We take our drink and we offer a drink to our partner, and we should be leaning back quite heavily. Level 1, I'm hanging out. I bow, he throws a punch at me. I'm going to step in, block with my first drink. This is me drinking. And then his drink is going to be coming up underneath. Doesn't matter where, generally groin, because I'm all the way down here. But if you have really good range, you can go for his head. Okay? Notice that I'm trying to hook this. You're going to always try to hook this. Drunken is very sticky, like sticky hands. Okay? So get in here as much as you possibly can. He throws the other arm. It's exactly the same technique. I duck under, block, and now I've got what we could call a level 2 technique. This punch becomes an arm break, just by blowing through the arm this way, okay? Exactly the same technique both times. Both times. There's so many. I don't want to make this video like hours long, so we'll just talk about one or two more. If he throws a punch, give me, what are you guys going to be able to see? Give me your left arm, okay? If you block this with your elbow, instead of with your wrist, okay? And basically this is what you see the MMA guys do when they block stuff like this. Same sort of idea. I'm just getting my elbow up out of the way. Now my drink here can become an attack. So ideally I'll just hit him or I'll grab onto something. Drunken likes to grab stuff with its thumb, just like this. So if you can catch onto his ear or something, you should be able to give him a good shot and cause a lot of pain, a lot of damage up here. This one you're going to probably hunt for the armpit. Or, conversely, one more time. This is a great technique for taking out his leg. If I come up this way, I can get onto his arm here, I don't know if you can see that, and take this leg out so that you're going to end up in a throw. So I'm going to end up falling over this direction. Okay, so that's just this movement again. You can see actually if I do it this way. That's the energy for that throw. That's that pull. Because his arm is stuck down in here. So you've got lots of power in that throw. Okay? Pretty simple. Can't think of anything that really needs to be said about that. I don't think it's pretty straightforward. Next move is to hold the barrel into drunkard steps on the snake. Now this one, I'm here and I'm pulling back. And this is one that I wanted to talk about. All throughout the set, you have to keep this in mind. Whenever you pull a foot back, okay, it's not just, I'm pulling my foot back. There has to be some sort of force in it. Okay? Stepping form, row 2. Same thing, we kick, we step through. And when we do this kick, this part has to be pulling down, right? You have to have a pull action in it. Anytime you pull in. So in this technique, when I pull back, I'm really concentrating on that back leg coming in. So what's going on there? I'm now in my drunken posture, okay? So we've already done this. Hanging out, he throws his right. I'm going to block, continuing with my barrel, right? The basic idea is that I grab onto him, rotate my barrel, and that's going to give me my arm attack. Maybe an elbow, whatever, right? Just do that, just like that, okay? Now this foot with that pull, as I do this, I'm going to hook into that leg, okay? So I receive his attack. Notice how my body's moving. We didn't talk much about fighting yet, so receiving the attack is different than blocking the attack. Blocking the attack is this, when I'm getting it out of my way, okay? Receiving, I'm trying not to interfere with that punch too much. He's actually coming right at my nose the whole way through. I'm just getting my nose out of the way. And this is where you see a lot of the leaning take place in Drunken, because it gives me my opportunity to be in a really nice stretched out position with him, okay? Look at where it puts my foot, way behind him. So I receive the attack, there's my barrel, and because I've given all of that room for his body weight to move, when I do this, it doesn't even have to knock him down, right? All I have to do is get a little bit of a destabilization going on, and then it's easy to knock him over. So that's this, okay? Level 1 of that, basically. Not that it seems that easy. Another way to think about the barrel, in order to get the barrel correct, is the other arm. That's one of the rules, right? What's your other arm doing? So this elbow, when I pull back, is an elbow attack. Pretty simple. So if we go back a technique to offering line to this one, you can use the offering line as a block for a technique. So as he punches with his right, I offer line here. This becomes my block. This guy is just out in space, okay? Ideally, it's kind of a flash and bang scenario. I've missed This was my attempt at a block and I missed. This guy ends up doing it. Now when I come back into my barrel, I can be pulling, as I said, or I can get farther past them and use this as a hit, depending on how you want to do it. So the first one, let's go back to the barrel, was receive the attack. This next one is to be very, very aggressive and end up as far past as you can before you do your barrel technique. Okay? Same technique, two different mindsets. Either I'm thinking defensively or offensively. Either one, it depends on what's going on, right? Who your opponent is, all that sort of stuff. That's about level 1 and 2 of that. Okay. Drunken steps on the snake. So this technique, we step out and the barrel turns. Boy, there's lots to this one, truthfully. Think about this as a side kick. This is not a step. I'm not putting my foot out. From here, I side kick. Exactly, yeah, he's there. I'm blasting his leg with this one. And that's basically the level 1 of the whole vibe, right? I'm in this position, he maybe throws something in my head or whatever, so I dodge, throw the kick. Make sure when you're doing the form it's like that. Now, you're kicking. Look at my torso. Okay? I'm not kicking like this. I'm pushing my foot out with my torso. Okay? It's an important one. I won't spend too much time on it here, but really important. This action of pushing with the torso is going to pull really hard with these two. Now this is slightly different than the barrel that we did before. The barrel we did before was receiving and turning. This guy, we're here, I've already received. I'm going to throw my kick, and I'm going to just show you one of the applications for this one. You throw this side kick in front of his leg towards his other leg like this. And you're just looking to get this knee in trouble. See how I've opened his knee up? Now when I twist my body the rest of the way, he gets to hit the floor. Okay? So one more time. The punch comes, I twist, I kick through like this, and turn my feet. Trying to do as slowly as I can. Okay? In the form, you should be accenting how much power this actually has, okay? Don't throw your arms out though. Don't do this. Just keep this roundness of the barrel taking place. Very, very important. Very important. He throws his other arm. So here I am. I'm pulling back. Here's my kick. Now I go behind his leg instead. So I throw the exact same technique and just twist him out. Okay? Same thing. This would be a Fatan move. One of the immortals. He likes to throw people. That's his vibe. Okay? Pretty simple. So the level 1, kick him, whatever. Level 2, the throw. And we'll just talk about the name for a second. Drunken steps on the snake. He's the snake. Okay? So one of the other applications of this is actually to just go after his ankle. And then stretch him across his ankle and see what will happen. As he falls, this guy will break. Okay? If it doesn't happen that way, who cares? He's on the floor. Hit him when he's down. So Drunken steps on the snake. Boom. In a perfect world, you can even go after that back foot. Okay? Pretty much covers a couple levels of that. Double cut punch. Okay? Level 1, hit the guy. So here I am. Boom. Double cut punch. I turn, fire my strikes at him. Okay, it could be anywhere. Doesn't make any difference. Doesn't make any difference. We're just to do this. So, boom, I step in this and far behind him, so that when I throw this, there's lots of force going into it. And it's not a push. Don't think that I'm touching him and then throwing him away. That's not what's going on. I'm going to just impact a little bit, Jason. Okay. I want to have a bit of an impact here, and then you would just continue to go through it, okay? So it still looks like the same technique, but you have to think about a hard impact, not a pushing action. Those are totally different energies, okay? Totally different gins. Now there's another throw in here.